Hey, good morning, Allen House. Today is new gear day for my church, so I'm here in our practice studio, our music studio that we've got set up, and I get to switch over some gear. So let's roll the intro and then show you what we're working with. So if you didn't see the series that I did, we built this music studio in a warehouse that we own a number of years ago. But it's a great space where we can come in and we've got a drum set already set up. We got a basic little PA. We've got a 12-inch Behringer sub and two 12-inch top cabinets up there. We've got a little podcasting studio set up, and I'm going to use that table over there. But it's kind of pre-cabled, so everybody just comes in. We've got, amplifiers. Somebody has a bass guitar left in here. There's some random keyboard that I don't know what that is. Got some extra toms and such in here. But anyway, it's a nice little space that we built, and it sounds great, and it works for us. And so today we're going to adjust our video equipment. So we have been running the ATEM TV Studio HD. And we've got that in a Gator case. And then on top of that, because we don't have any screens, we would have just a computer monitor that we'd set on top. And that recently cracked and died. So here we've got the Gator case. And let's see, open this thing up. Hopefully, all right, well, that's on backwards. That's great. So obviously all of our cables are in here. We'll talk about all those since we have to switch all of them around. Usually we like to put the front of the case on the front of the box and the back on the back. But in here, it's real simple. We've got a power conditioner and we've got an ATEM switcher. This is an extra DMX splitter because we've got the same one on our stage. But like I said, we would have a monitor that would sit up on top of this. It was a small monitor, maybe 15 or 17-inch monitor. And that would be our multi-view output from the ATEM. So we have our different cameras that get kind of cabled up into this thing. We can power on, and then we've got our HDMI cable and power for the monitor. We just plug those right in, power that up. But when you drop the TV and it gets a big old crack in the side of it, you can't see anything. So we're gonna fix that today. So what we have here is an LCD monitor. You can tell by what it says. But this should be a 17-inch rack mountable monitor. We'll open it up, get it on the table, and then tell you what we're gonna do. All right, so this is what comes in the box. We've got the Seetec 17-inch monitor. It's rack mountable. We'll get to that in a minute. It's got all of its controls on the bottom, which I have not looked at. But it comes with your power supply. Comes with all the knickknacks and connector points for wherever you live in the world. I'm gonna choose this one. And it comes with an HDMI cable. And then it looks like it even has, I guess, a VGA adapter that you could connect in there if you needed to go VGA. We're not gonna use that. So all those will go back in the box. We'll keep these things out and we'll install it. Now, you can tell that this is not going to work because it takes up the entire rack case, which would not be bad if we wanted to keep this just in the one rack, but we bought a larger Gator case, which is back there, and so we're going to put all this stuff into that Gator case. So this is a Seetec 17-inch widescreen monitor. It does have a 16:9 ratio and runs a true 1920 by 1080. It has multiple connections on the back, including a DTAP battery holder in case you're on a true mobile setup, but many inputs and outputs that make this thing a flexible unit that can fit many, many configurations. But enough talking, let's get this thing installed. Yeah, so check that thing out. So we can just flip on the power conditioner. Screen will be right there. We got our controls. All we honestly use is the auto button. We're only running 2 cameras set up, but so we just flip with the auto button. That's the majority of what we do. We've got a little bit of space in the bottom. If I flip this guy around here, we will hit up all of our wiring connections, but obviously we've got all these cables. Because we set up and tear down, we have all these cables that the power will stay pre-wired. Obviously the monitor will be pre-wired. We try to use cable ties whenever possible, the Velcro ties whenever possible, but we have audio that goes from the console into this ATEM, which is these cables here. So they have to get pulled out, plugged into the console. We have this SDI cable, which is an SDI input, which goes into input 5, and that runs to our floor because we have an SDI cable that runs under our floor to go to our front camera. Then our back camera goes in HDMI into the switcher, so that stays in here and just gets unraveled and plugged in. So we have plenty of space in here though. I think if I wanted to put any type of a drawer, I could probably fit a drawer up here behind the monitor that could pull out if I needed to have batteries or extra connectors or extra SDI cables, things like that. I could put that in there. But for right now, this looks really good. I've got so much space in there, but I love the look of this, the functionality, and the just ease of not having to move a monitor. We just unplug the front bin off of it, plug in some power, flip the power strip on, and we are good to go. But I want to fire this thing up. I've got just my little handheld camera that I'm going to try and plug into it, see if it works, and we'll show you what the screen looks like. All right, so it's pretty sweet. We've got the monitor set up here now. I did have to change the multi-view out. We were having to run 1080i on the multi-view out of the ATEM. So got that switch over to 1080p, and boom, she popped up on the screen. Looking good. I do have a 1 camera set up right now, just shooting, right back here at that microphone. And anyway, so it's working. We've got the, let's see, we can switch there. And so we've got all the functionality that we need. And so this is looking sweet. I'm excited to get this in on Sunday, coming up here in just a few days, right after Thanksgiving. Put this thing into practice, put this thing in the mix. Now, there are plenty of settings in the screen. So if we wanted to change the coloring, the contrast, the brightness, any of that stuff, we're going to be able to do that. It also has a headphone out on the front, which might be nice that we can just monitor right from the front. Now, obviously, we've got headphone out on this ATEM as well, but we just have one sound technician, if you know our setup, one sound technician that mixes the live stream and everything else. But in case we need to troubleshoot, we have not only output on the ATEM, but also on that screen as well. I do want to check and make sure that the volume on the screen is turned all the way down, because it does have little speakers on the front. You can see one right there, and then another one on the right-hand side as well. And so we want to make sure that those are turned down and that we're not getting any audio coming through those speakers. All right, y'all, so hopefully this has been helpful. Maybe you like what we're working with here, and you can implement some of these things into your practices in your venue. We got the new Gator case buttoned up. We got all the components in. We've tested it. I'm gonna go set it back in our venue, in our storage area, so that it's ready for Sunday. Hey, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you got questions, leave those in the comment section below. I'm always answering questions. If you'd like, also in the description of this video, there are links to these components, as well as a link to my website. If you've got any specific questions or you need one-on-one help, you can go fill out the contact card at my website. We can start a conversation outside of YouTube. But that's it for now. We will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.